I can't believe we still want that bozo. I can't believe we still want to get him. He's just, I just don't. This vibes in Clipper training camp seem really good right now. I like the balance of our team, but a lot of people don't agree. They think that we need more talent. I just don't like the fit of those four together come playoff time. I think he raises our floor, but our ceiling with Harden, I just, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not about it. Like, I just don't think he makes me more confident that we're going to win a chip. Him and Westbrook, where does that leave Westbrook to me? Especially in the half-court offense. I'm not about it at all. It doesn't make our defense better. The team's been talking about playing fast and playing more defense. James Harden does neither of those things. And as we've talked about on this show a lot of times, and I've heard even more confirmation of it, that this guy, his number one priority doesn't always seem like it's winning a championship. That does not mean he doesn't care about basketball. He does care about playing and playing at a high level. When it comes to winning the championship, I think there's certain intangible things that he doesn't do. And when you hear the stuff off the court, it seems like he's having a good time. And I admire him for that, but I don't want that on my team. If we didn't have Westbrook, I would say it's okay, but I'm very against it with Westbrook because we brought Westbrook in to do this. And when Westbrook, you get a good Westbrook, you know how infectious that could be. From an energy perspective, positivity, I like that. I don't want Harden taking the ball away from him.
Harden directly impacts your season and you going over the Clippers the way that you do. He was in Brooklyn for 2 years, if that. So I really don't have a great opinion on him. I was hoping, hopefully, Fleet can get back on because he was in Houston and seeing prime James Harden. So you guys can speak to on a personal level, like how it can impact the team that you're watching or following. Fleet, what do you feel about James Harden as a ball player? Just what's going on in general?
I'll be fair. I'm pretty disgusted with how he approaches professionalism, right? I know the media, and I guess we're part of the media now too. So I guess how things happen get misconstrued and may not be disseminated to the masses the way a player might want it to be. But, a lot of times perception is reality, right? A lot of times the things that we may see or catch wind of, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So I just think if he approached things a little differently, man, I would have a different opinion on this dude. Like y'all know, I'm down here in Houston, so I've been, I was able to watch him up close and personal while he was just ascending into a Hall of Famer, really. I was able to watch him turn himself into a Hall of Fame caliber player, into a top 75 caliber player, right? But I get disappointed because he's one of the greater players that I don't think approaches the game the way they need to approach the game. Again, that's my opinion. I'm not there with him, but I am able to watch and see the product that he puts out there and what's happening on a year-to-year basis, right? This is the third or fourth year in a row that we're dealing with going into training camp, apprehension from him about wanting to play with the team that he's a part of. And I just think that takes away from what you're trying to build as a team. If you're James Harden right now, more than likely you're on a team that's good. You're not on a team that's bad, right? So if you're on a team right now, if you're playing for something. I was looking at that Philly team and I was like, damn, if he actually gave a fuck and went back there and played,
they got a decent team. I know.
They could be a good team, Don.
They got Paul Reed back, got Pat Bev, Kelly Oubre off the bench.
Danny Green back. Like they got experience. They got guys that know how to play the game of basketball. If you just add him and the attitude of wanting to win. We have 2 former MVPs on this team. 2 MVPs that have been MVPs within the last 5, 6, 7 years. Like this could be a real match made in heaven if he gave a fuck. That's the part for me. He don't care enough from what I see that could put them in a position to where we're talking about them like we talk about the Bucks, like we talk about the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about Denver, like we talk about the Lakers. They could be right there.
And they also have an ascending Tyrese Maxey who's electric.
Come on. This dude is going to be the real deal. Next time we turn around, we're going to be talking about Tyrese Maxey as an all-star, talking about Tyrese Maxey as a max guy, no pun intended, right? Like, we're going to be talking about this dude like that. So, come on now. Like, that's just the disappointment for me with James Harden, is if he approached it like a superstar level player is supposed to, this team, they could be good. They could be really good. You just brought in a more innovative mind in Nick Nurse. Like, his mind is a little more innovative than Doc Rivers, right? You bring him in. He's coming off of a championship, more recent. So he's coming off of more recent success.
Mm.
This could, if Harden, if you bought in, man, if you bought in, this team could be good. They could be really good.
I was talking to Dom the other day, and I made this comparison, and I was just trying to figure out like what the big difference is besides the obvious, right? Harden and another legend in the game. They both at least 10-time All-Stars, at least 3-time scoring champions, MVP, at least both 7-time All-NBA, both All-Rookie, both Rookie of the Year. No, he wasn't Rookie of the Year. This guy was Rookie of the Year. Both top 75 players of all time. Both were known for going out, enjoying the nightlife, overstaying, and then showing up and giving you 40. Allen Iverson and James Harden have a lot of similarities. People will overlook it, and I thought it was just straight charisma. Allen Iverson's a rock star. Now, and Don was like, nah, it's not just that. And I just had to think, and is it Iverson's motor? Is it a part of it? And it's like, yeah, it's a part of it. He's built differently. Westbrook and Allen Iverson, like, luckily ALLBALL's not here. For Westbrook, for all his flaws on the court, Iverson for all his flaws on the court. Who would I rather root? What I always talk about, Dime. Who would I rather root for? James Harden, Allen Iverson, or Russell Westbrook? Well, give me Russell and Allen Iverson any day of the week. We go to work every day.
I love it.
And he has all the flaws in the world. So it's not just that Westbrook has this charisma. His charisma comes from the motor. Allen Iverson's a motor. Yeah, he looks like a rock star. The chicks love him. And he would look like a street dude. He looked like he was a rapper. He looked like he could be a good, like he was just that charismatic, could sell kicks. But it wasn't just that. Iverson looked like he cared about everything that he did. Every time that he spoke, he seemed authentic. Maybe he was wrong, but he cared. When we hear Harden talk, it's like, what are you talking about? We hear you wanted to change your team for the 5th time. What are you talking about? What do you want in life? How can you not want this scenario? You got a big guy, which with Joel Embiid, the MVP. Was it Reggie Miller that said it last year? Since when has anybody wanted to trade away from an MVP besides Kobe, and they had a beef or whatever it was, and that was their own personal thing.
And he wasn't even coming off an MVP. Shaq had already shown some signs of decline. Embiid is at the peak of his career.
Right. Started getting hurt, started being a little overweight coming into training camp. Like, yeah.
And Harden is going to be the 3rd best player if he comes here, not the 2nd. He has the perfect role right now.
And with Kobe, it was, oh, I want him traded because I want to prove to you I can win without you. I care about winning. So when we talk about caring about a championship, it starts with the little things first, caring about these little small things. I don't think he cares about basketball, Dom. I don't know why you think this.
No, he definitely cares about basketball. Otherwise, he can't be this good for this long.
He cares
winning
about
a championship is different, but he cares about getting buckets, doing his thing. He works hard still. That's it
right there. Like, people like the lifestyle, but may not really care about the competition of it either. Like you said, Don, look what you just said. To be able to maintain a level of being a good player is cool, but good players don't compete at the highest level all the time. And what I mean by that is a lot of good players you don't see. We always wanted to see certain players go deep within the playoffs. Well, sometimes that's because of roster, but sometimes that's because they just don't really give a fuck about really winning, right? And so now you never see them ascend into playing in meaningful basketball games like Western Conference or Eastern Conference finals and finals games and shit like that. So I would love to see James Harden on the final stage, right? In that first week of June, watching him play against the best of the best. You want to see your best players on those stages at some point. But again, I think I care more about the lifestyle and what basketball brings me as opposed to what I get from it in the throes of it, the competition, the losing and coming back from losing and getting back to that mountaintop, right? You lose in the Western Conference Finals. I got to make it back to get to the finals. Like, I don't see that from him, is what I'm saying. We would love to see that.
Again, I think even when Iverson diving on the floor, what do you get from that? I'm just giving him my all, no matter what happens. Forget the expectation. We're coming on here. Listen, let's bring it more closer to home. We go on YouTube every day. We might not get one view, but we still on here doing it because we love it.
Yeah,
we don't just talk about basketball. Right. So if I look stupid on here with a comment, somebody comes to correct me about whatever, damn, I look dumb. But hey, guess what? I love that. Look what Jub just said. Y'all are nice. Accept new info and change opinions. Thanks for your time. Yeah. Like, that means more to me than what am I gonna get? All right, we might get 100. I'd rather get 100 million views this way. That's what when Gilbert Arenas made that comment. I'm gonna get $100 million. Like, yeah, but we kind of clown you for that, bro. We kind of do. Like, you kind of gave it your all, but you really weren't AI as much as you were still a chuck. Like, nah, you're not. That's part of the reason why AI is a legend to us. Because even though he was flawed, it was like, yo, he cares. I don't know what you want, James Harden. Like, I know what you want. You want the lifestyle. You want to be rich. You want to get your 30 points and brag about that. But you just like every other dude that I know that brags about getting chicks and is like, bro, why are you telling me this? I don't know you.
30 and 10. He wants his 30 and 10.
Right. Yeah, but I don't respect you. I don't respect his 30 and 10. How about that? It's you talk about a stat stuffer. That's what he is. So, like Devin Booker last year, what I say, Don? What did I say before last playoffs? I don't like Devin Booker. I think
overrated.
I don't say that anymore. Right. I've never seen James Harden
competitive level. You see the competitive level of, and part of it too is, you know, I think he had that competitive juice out here when he was in Houston, going up against those Golden State teams, really, really trying to ascend to that next level. I could see that competitive nature in him when he's battling against Steph and Clay and KD and really going at them. Like, he was hooping. He was hooping. But
see, there you go again.
It's too inconsistent.
I don't think I think he's inconsistent because he's like a typical jump shooter, and you don't move off, like, you don't do the things to win because you don't care about. That's why it's like, I mean, even Dame doesn't move off ball, but I would never, like, I'd rather root for Dame.
But his intangibles look so different when he was in OKC than they did in Houston. No, do y'all remember the intangibles that he brought as that sixth man?
He used to sit down and guard sometimes.
Yeah, he would sit in a chair, Don, and really sit down.
Yo,
Fabian, he did that. He was very different as that utility guy. Very different.
And OKC, he was, especially towards the end, he would not play defense. Kobe used to get on him about that. Kobe used to get on him about that. I think that's what he made the comment that. That's when he went to Houston. But Kobe was very, like, the way he would speak about James Harden's defense in OKC. I don't think it was there. Yeah, I don't think it was like that at all.
I think it's better than what we make.
Kobe said that about. No, I'm saying Kobe said something about James Harden's defense in Oklahoma City.
I thought they had a confrontation, especially when, like, Ron Artest elbowed him. Like, they really didn't respect. I never felt like they respected Harden, especially after he went to the finals.
Well, after he went to the finals, he was gone. He went to Houston.
All right, so it's probably that same season. Whenever Ron Artest elbowed him, like, almost murdered him. By the way,
that's the best regular season game I've ever been to in my life.
Yo, he almost knocked James Harden. That was crazy.
He almost knocked him out cold.
We never saw the replay in the arena, so we were all booing when he got ejected. And then when I went home and I saw it, I was like, "Oh my god!" I felt so, in that moment. I was like, "Bro, Ron Artest did such a good job to redo his image, and then he did that." I was like,
"Oh wow, Don, they didn't replay that on the big screen."
No, we all booed. Nobody had seen it. We all booed. We had no idea. Nobody would have booed had we seen it. It was. I was in the top row that day, at the top row center.
You read that part in Blood in the Garden, right, Fleet, where they said that the MSG was the first place they used to show, like, replays of them doing foul stuff in the garden, and they would get the crowd riled up.
Yeah.
So something like that, Dime, they would have replayed it because we would have loved it. We would have been crazy. We would have been crazy. Hell yeah.
What about in 2023? You think they would have?
Yes. Dime, we are crazy over here. I don't like. That's the thing I could say about the generation. As crazy and random as they are, they still carry the senseless fandom for the Knicks, and we still go crazy.
Yo.
Okay, but did you know the Raptors